Office of Appeals. We're going to talk about taking your case to appeals. Now you've gotten to a point, pretty much the exam is finished. You've given the examiner all the information. Make sure you've given them all the information before you go any further. And you're in an impasse. You guys can't agree. So yeah, he's going to issue the report. And you're going to get something like what I would have issued, 915 letter, and then in about another 15 days they issue another letter. Mine was a 1912 letter. It'll notify you of your appeals rights. And in there'll be a form, 12203, request for appeals. And you know what? You need to consider, you can probably do this yourself, depending on how difficult the issue is. The important thing is when you get to this point, they'll put a little publication in their 3498. Actually, I put the 3 pages at the end of this video. It's important for you to look at this. I mean, it explains the process, probably better than what I'm going to say, because I'm going to keep this short and sweet. But they'll have situations for people that have tax liabilities that are less than $25,000 for each tax year, which is a small case, and then anything that's over $25,000, which is a formal written request. So, anyways, let me get into this here. So when the Office of Appeals, it's important to note that a lot of these the person that you'll actually be going to speak with about your case, they were most of these people were auditors in their before they actually have the position that they have now, and so they understand what's going on, and so you got to consider that they're going to listen to what you have to say. I mean, they're going to listen to both sides. It's as simple as that. They're going to try to resolve this. That's it. Let's knock this thing out. So, and maybe to make you feel a little more at ease and stuff. I mean, I have some experience on both sides of the coin, and it's like this. I mean, so I've had plenty of cases that would go to appeals, and I'd actually have to write up a little statement, about what was the issue. I'd have to actually cite the applicable tax law, the IRS's position, and then the taxpayer's position, and that would actually be forwarded with the case. But what's more important is I'll let you know that the IRS, they don't discriminate on who they audit. I mean, myself, I was audited twice, and the first time, I was a new employee, and they audited me for 2 years, and I think it was like 2008 and 2009, and I have a rental property, and at the end of the day, I mean, I showed the revenue agent at the time everything, and it was a no change. It was a no change report, and for me, that's as an employee for an employee audit. Well, that's what I want. The tax is one thing, but you know what really is for me to look like a good steward of my taxes, and because I should be if I'm auditing other people, a no change report. And so I left the IRS. I transferred to another agency, and then I transferred back in for my last year, and I got selected again. Boy, what a joy! And so we were going through this process and stuff, and we got to a point, and I'm just going to be quite frank. I provided all the documentation, and we didn't see, me and the examiner that was auditing me. We were at disagreement. We weren't going anywhere, and I disagreed on everything. And so what did I do? Well, they're going to request that you extend the statute of limitations, because appeals needs at least a year to actually examine the return. So more than likely they're going to ask you to extend the statute. So I did that, and then I filled out my my small case request. I mean, it was not much there. You'll see actually at the end of the video, I put in I actually reproduced my my 12203 to take out the personal information, and you'll see the amounts are small and stuff. But for me, I put the issue down, and then I put you know, why I disagree. But I put, for me, I put the tax law, and I put the some of the Treasury regulations and stuff. And I'm actually trying to prove my case here. I mean, it's important to me. I mean, no, it's important to you. And so that was like I want to say it was like 8 months later. I finally had my hearing. It was over the phone. They had sent me a letter, and we set up a phone interview, and I was vindicated. It's as simple as that. And so I'm also, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write up a generic form 12203, and I'm going to put that at the end. I mean, actually, I already wrote it up. There's going to just be two issues in there for the Schedule C, and I just put, you get, just to show you some idea of what to write, what you could write for basically why you disagree. I mean, not every situation is perfect. Just anyways. The other thing I put in there also was I actually reproduced my information document request that I received from my second audit, which also no personal information in there, just to see what this other examiner, was a tax compliance officer, what they actually had selected on my rental, which is basically my whole rental, and it is what it is. And so, but by all means, actually, I read the publication 3498. I mean, at least I put the 4 pages in there, page 4, 5, and 6. Actually, just gives you an idea of what's going on there for appeals. But the other thing is don't go to appeals and then start showing them more additional information that you didn't show the examiner, because more likely the appeals is just going to send it right back to the auditor, because it should have been introduced at that level. I mean, this is where you're at a disagreement and there's nothing else to add. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And this is going to be my last video in this the series for the audit process and stuff. And I hope it helps some people out. Okay. Well, thank you very much.